there, everybody. It's just Julie Nolenberg here. I'm just here to share. We've been talking the last 2 weeks, if you've been with me, about getting unstuck. And you know, it's so easy to just get stuck in our life and then just stay there. And so hopefully over the last 2 weeks together that you have begun to get yourself unstuck. You've written down your goals, looked at your habits, and now are taking those small, consistent steps towards reaching some of those goals that you might have in your life. And so today we're just going to wrap it up and we're going to talk about influences. And I'm going to share today 3 types of influences. I'm really going to talk about 2, but 3 types of influences that can have a huge effect and impact on us reaching our goals. They can either have a positive impact or a negative impact. And those 3 influences are input, association, and environment. And so today I'm just going to talk mostly about input, what we put in our mind, and association, who we hang around. And those 2 influences can really have a major effect on if we're accomplishing our goals or not. You know, it's so important to make those right choices, and we've talked about that over the last 2 weeks. And when we make those right choices and we take those small steps, they compound over time and we see great results. Now remember, you are 100% responsible. It's not your husband, your children, maybe your coworkers. You are responsible. And if you start failing or falling or going back into those old bad habits, it's you. You are the one that's responsible. And you know, that's something I talk to my children all the time. We have to stop making excuses and blaming other people, but it's us. But you know, those influences in our lives, they really do have an impact on us. And so that's really important for us to look at. What kind of things are we feeding our mind? You know, I used to be a big news junkie and I love to listen to the news. I'm not sure quite why, but I always just was always there listening to the news. Had it in the car. I like to listen to it before I went to bed. You know, and all I was doing was feeding my mind bad stuff. It was just bad. It was negative. Really, when in the news do you hear good information? When is it feeding your mind great, positive words? Really never. Very rare. You know, so about 3-4 years ago, I think it was about 4 years ago, I really decided, you know, enough is enough. I don't need to do that anymore. I need to start really making sure that I'm feeding my mind with good input. And so what I do a lot is, these are 2 things that I would highly suggest in that input mode. You know, maybe you need to take a media hiatus and just say, you know what, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to watch the news. I'm not going to listen to those things right now. I just want to make sure my mind is being fed good information. And so personal development is huge. You know, you may not be a big personal development person, and I get that, but you know what? It really, really is important if you have goals in your life that you want to accomplish. It's really important that you are feeding your mind daily good information, be it through listening, audio, or reading. You know, I always start, my day is really in the Word and in prayer. That's like the very first thing I do. And then on top of that, I make sure that I am listening or reading to books or audios that are filling my mind with good information. So 30 minutes a day, I really try to fill my brain with really good personal development. Now, you might be a busy mom or dad, and you're thinking, okay, when am I going to find 30 minutes, Julie? Okay, here are some thoughts. Maybe you have a commute. So maybe you have a 20-minute commute one way and a 20-minute commute the other way. That's 40 minutes. You know, if you have a smartphone, you can download, so it doesn't take your data, you can download amazing podcasts. And if you want some really positive podcasts to listen to, you know, just write down the comments or message me privately, and I can give out some really great podcasts that you could listen to. Books on tape. There are so many different ways. When I'm cleaning my house, I have a little bag. I put my little smartphone in my little bag, and I am walking around the house, cleaning my house, listening to positive, great affirmations and great personal development when I'm cleaning the kitchen. So there are great ways. So do not make that an excuse. So fill your mind with positive influences. 30 minutes a day. I highly recommend it. And then take a break from some of those negative things. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is associations. Now, this is a little bit harder because we may have people in our life that are very dear to us, but have a very negative impact on us by just the words they say or maybe the things that they do. And so I really want you to take a moment and think about maybe your goal and some of the people around you. Are they supporting you? Are they encouraging you? Or are they bringing you down? Now, we can't disassociate always with some of those people. I understand they could be family members. But what you can do is let them know what you're working on and just ask for their help. Or you might have to stay away from a little bit, or whatever that might be. You might have to disassociate yourself for a while as you're working on a particular goal. Or maybe you have somebody in your life that is you just really cherish, and finding somebody that you can maybe call your performance partner. Maybe you have a goal of learning a certain hobby, or you have a parenting goal or a business goal, or you want to lose weight. Find maybe somebody in your circle of influence that wants the same thing, and the two of you can support and encourage each other together. Find that performance partner. You know, on my page, I can't sit down with coffee with all of you all the time, but you know what? I am here to encourage and support you and to help you live your best life ever. So please message me. I'm always here to give words of encouragement. Come back and visit my fan page. One of my biggest things that I want to do is empower and inspire you to live your best life and to follow your dreams. So find people in your life that can support you and encourage you. And sometimes it's just letting them know what your goal is and what you're working on, and to say, hey, I really need your help. But put yourself around positive people. Sometimes it's even extending and finding new people that maybe have some of the same interests that you, or things like that, that you can associate yourself with. So you want to find those associations. And so the last thing is environment. We're not going to hit on that a whole lot, but you know, our environment can also have a negative or a positive influence on us. So if you are, I'm just going to take this as quick, if you are losing weight, and you know there are certain environments that you cannot be in because you know it's going to really affect you, stay away from those environments. Or maybe there's some really good environments that just give you a good feeling. And if you, let's say you're working on a business and there's just different places that give you a good feeling or a good vibe, you know, maybe go to those places to do some work. So just our environment can have a huge effect too on helping us achieve our goals, or on the other hand, having a negative impact. So we really want to look at those influences and looking at input. What are we putting in our mind? Who are we associating with? And our environment when it comes to achieving our goals. So that's about all I have for you today. If you found any value, I'd love for you to share or give me a like or a heart. If you have any comments, right below. Also, if there's something that you're really struggling with, private message me. I'm always here to chat, because really my heart's passion is to help other people live their life to the fullest, because I believe I know we've only been given one life, and we want to make this life the very best. So that's all for this series. It's been 2 weeks, and I'm going to be starting some new things next week, so I'll be around, so please hop on. And if there's a spot too that you can get notifications, I think it's above. And so anytime I come online and you want to hop on live, it will notify you. But also just come back to my page. They're always recorded. You make it a really good day.